everyone, to episode 157, I believe. Yes, 157 of the Badcast podcast. I'm your host, Caleb Peng, joined by my co-host, Anicor. No longer the clown. He's paid his dues.
I didn't even know that clown, bruv. Yeah, I don't even know him anymore.
Dude, it kind of looks weird just looking at your regular face now, to be honest. We come full circle.
Well, you know how it go.
Yeah. Anyway, we got some news, so we'll kick it off with the most important one, I would say. But I'll let you take it away, Anicor.
Wait, which one?
Your retirement.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. I thought you meant ages. Yeah. So, unfortunately, after I don't think it's actually been a year, but I think it's. No,
yeah,
it's
you
not
almost
been a
last year, but not quite.
Yeah.
I think you started recording with me regularly about.
It would have been after Worlds, isn't it?
Yeah, it was like in August. Yeah.
Or was it just before Worlds? Yeah, after Worlds.
Yeah. So you didn't last as long as Speedy, but you know.
yeah. But unfortunately, honestly, like I think I was saying this, innit? Yeah. And I actually used to do some business with a mate of mine who lived in LA. And this was like years ago, right? And business was good and everything. Yeah, it was amazing. However, the time zone was so annoying, man, because like I needed, so for what we were doing was we were doing like some sort of like shipping related stuff. Yeah. So I was like, he was like, he had to get stuff to the depot in, where is it? Is it like Carson or something? There's like a DHL depot in Carson or something like
that. I don't know, maybe.
And
I don't ship drugs very often, so I don't know. You know.
Yeah, well, you know, when you got to ship drugs, you got to ship drugs, you know. And he'd have to get there by 5, and like it was this whole thing. But basically, I'd regularly be up at like 2 a.m. trying to like sort out loads of stuff. Or it would be the case that he'd be up like kind of late trying to sort out stuff as well, innit? So, and I'd kind of forgotten that was the case. Being in Australia, it wasn't that bad because I think I was recording at roughly like maybe a few hours before I'd record now. But yeah, recording in the evenings, it's like difficult because, you know, obviously we end up doing like pretty long episodes, and it's like by the time I'm done, it's maybe nearly midnight, you know, at times. So there was that, and then also this upcoming season in general, there's a lot of things that I'm planning to do. I think some of the things I've like, you know, spoken about, maybe I can't actually remember all of them, but like obviously I'm trying to learn a load of stuff. I'm trying to like make some new formats. And we also have this like Asian sponsorship event as well, which, bruv, honestly, yeah, like I'm flying, yeah, on the day that it's happening. So as it's going,
why couldn't you have hosted this any other weekend? There was really no other weekend.
Because it's like any weekend. So I think weekends after, right, you have to not clash with GoFest. But then if you leave it too late, then there's no point giving any money to any of the players because it's like, well, they can't go anyway because it's a bit too like late.
Yeah.
And
there's
any
no other earlier weekend.
Earlier was difficult as well because it was like having enough time to like organize things and actually get things, you know, on the thing in it. So it was a bit of this was like the best opportunity we had. And actually the whole me flying out thing happened after I decided that this was going to be the weekend. So yeah, man, kind of long. Okay. So yeah, just a lot of stuff, and hopefully I'm not clipping. Yeah, just a lot of stuff, and unfortunately, you know, all good things come to an end.
Yeah. Well, there's brighter days ahead as well too. So podcast is not ending.
Yeah, but not as bright, you know. Obviously not as bright.
Not as goofy. Maybe. Yeah. We'll see. If the viewership goes up after you leave, then oh man,
no, I'm never showing my face here again.
That's that's going to be the funniest part. No, so what do you call it? I do have some plans. They're already in the works. So starting next episode, we'll have not just one new co-host, not just 2, but 3 new co-hosts. Yeah. It's just you wait. Yeah, because obviously I've known about this ahead of time too. So obviously I've been planning ahead. But we got 3 additional calls, 4 regular hosts of the podcast coming up. And the format is going to change a little bit too, but just stay tuned on that. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
You know, it'll be me and 3 full clowns every episode. It'll really be a clown show. Brought the whole circus with me. No, it won't be all that. But yeah, we'll stay tuned for that. It'll be 3 with a 5th, like fairly regular guest on the podcast. Yeah, some big things coming. I was just waiting for Anicor to retire to pull off the big things. I'm just kidding.
Well, I hope to make a cameo appearance in the future. When this.
We'll see. When we make it really big, we'll see if we have time for you. We'll see if we have time or not. It was a lot of fun when we had you and Polly on for like early on last year when Draco first started for like those Dracovic quizzes and stuff. So I think that could be a fun time too, when like you all came on and quizzed me and Speedy. But anyway, so I don't want to like clickbait people with a title here. It's not clickbait. It is true. Coriander is retiring, but
Coriander's wilted.
But yeah, yeah, right. It's time to harvest that plant and just toss it out. Speaking of which, I was growing some plants actually on my porch, and I have like a spinach plant and some other stuff, and there were just like these holes in the spinach leaves to develop. I was like, "What the heck is going on?" Right? I was like, I've been watering this, right? Like, is the sun too much in LA? Turns out, I think it just came with a caterpillar in the dirt or whatever.
Oh,
there was a whole caterpillar eating.
That's so jokes.
Like having a whole buffet, a whole feast, right? Just chewing through the plants.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
You have to buy more spinach.
Yeah, we did not wait to see if that thing was turning into a butterfly or not. It's time to go. Spinach eventually died too, because I don't know if it was just that, but
I guess.
But anyway, I don't know. Maybe I'll try growing some coriander. We'll see. It might last a year, but maybe not.
It was longer than the spinach, so
it was on spinach. Okay, so a few questions for you though. What is I'm sure the audience is wondering what's the plans moving forward besides just this, obviously this one tournament coming up, right? What are you gonna be doing with all this free time of yours?
So there's the Asian tournament next weekend. Then we still have to do the Champions tournament of APC from last season. So we decided this season we were taking a break, but we'll still do the Champions tournament. And I think the reason that's quite important as well is obviously because like it's part of the format. However, with this Asian tournament next weekend and also that tournament, those are like 2 relatively like decent looks at the meta, I would say. Do you know what I mean? Before Worlds, yeah? Because it's like nobody competing in any of these 2 tournaments are like taking it lightly. Do you know what I mean? And no one's really treating it as if it's like a practice, because obviously one of them's got money on the line and the other one is like, essentially all the best players in Asia of that time. So it's like, obviously you could treat it as a practice, but at the same time, like you're among some of the best players. I feel like you'd want to leave a mark. Although I do understand that potentially, because actually, funnily enough, I qualified for that tournament as well. Don't ask me how.
Competition must not be that strong, because that's why everyone's thinking.
I actually did pretty well, but I was on holiday like a few days, and I could have done better. But admittedly, the team I'm gonna enter, there's certain picks where I'm like, okay, maybe I would use this pick for Worlds, but I'm not sure that I actually want to use it in the tournament. Do you know what I mean?
Why?
So just because, I don't. Do you know what I mean? In it, like I'm happy to play with like more simple stuff in it. So I'll play with simple stuff. I think it'll still be good.
Message me what you think you're going to run. That's like a spicy pick for Worlds.
Okay,
I'm curious.
What now?
Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah.
Okay, here's my first one, isn't it? Yeah, which I actually still need to try out. I haven't really got.
I'm not gonna say what it is, but I'll give the audience a reaction to like how spicy this is, right?
Okay. Now, audience, bear in mind,
this is like a ghost pepper or a straight up bell pepper, you know.
Okay, bear in mind that every time this guy responds to any of my suggestions, take his response with a grain of salt, because you're going to be seeing it in Top Cuts like soon,
No, you be saying this. You said there's going to be multiple Typhlosion, Top Cut, NIC. Not a single one even made like top like 64.
Zhao Victor
probably
got to top 10 of the leaderboard. with
No.
the
But
Typhlosion.
GBL doesn't just GBL doesn't. We all know GBL doesn't
Yeah,
mean
but
anything, dude.
hey,
Z's Wireless hit number 1 the GBL leaderboard with a Tropius, Magnezone, and a Wigglytuff. Okay, like
okay.
this,
But
like what you
we
can
were
run in
talking about
GBL.
one tournament, yeah. Didn't even have the Typhlosion Comday, didn't even have any of that stuff, yeah.
What does
Now,
Typhlosion Comday have to do with anything, though?
I don't know, give him Blast Burn or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah,
Either
but
way,
but the
yeah.
problem is everyone just didn't have a Shadow Typhlosion they could
Yeah,
make,
and I guess
right?
they
That
still
was a
don't,
bigger problem. Yeah,
probably, yeah.
yeah. But
Um,
okay,
yeah.
I give this like I don't know, like a jalapeno as best on spice level. Like it's
I tell you
like
that.
it's. Honestly,
Yeah,
I honestly don't even think it's like it's not like it's not even that the spice issue. It's just I just don't think it's good.
yeah, and
But
again, viewers, how many times have you heard Caleb say this? Yeah,
I've used it in
give him
GBL
3
and
weeks.
I've been like I don't know where to go with it. Look, I'll put it this way. I'm not going to name names, right? But I remember at NAIC, I saw some people run certain things, right? Some that were like good players and stuff as well, right? And I remember telling my friends, I was like, and it didn't pan out for them, right? I was telling my friends, I was like, you know what this shows, right? It's not about the performance of the player, right? But the fact they brought a really off meta pick, right? That in my mind have like just very no viability, right? And they got completely like slammed for it. I was like, you know what this shows? It shows that they don't have anyone that's a true friend in their corner to tell them
Nah,
to break some
bro.
sense to them, right? Because
Nah,
I was telling my friends, I was like, there's no way in the world I would let you run something like this in a tournament without like giving you an earful beforehand, right? Like if you end up still running it, like that's on you, right? Because I saw all my friends, a lot of them want to run Polyrath. Tomahawk wants to run Polyrath at Bologna with the Batson team. I told him
yeah.
no, it's like not 100% not to play, right? It is terrible. It's honestly slightly better in this meta than the Bologna meta, but especially in the Bologna meta, I was like, don't run it. Like this is like my biggest like learning lesson from LA. It's like it's just not worth it, right? Just for some slightly better coverage against like a Whiscash, something, a Minibuzz, like it's not worth the trade off. Like trust me. And I convinced them out of it, right? And I convinced a lot of my friends out of Polyrath as well for NAIC. But I'm
How do
just
we know
saying,
that
right?
Polyrath wouldn't have been the difference between first
What
and
do you mean that
second? Yeah.
Polyrath difference? Dumbo and Polyrath and got cut out. Like I didn't even see him like mentioned on stream, right? The only thing they said was, "Oh, Doombug's out," right? Like early on. Like no. Trust me, it's not it, right? Rise ran it too and you got eliminated too. Like it's just like these are good players that run it and just like it didn't pan out. Obviously, like they weren't hitting me up for team building advice and stuff, but if they did, I would tell them like, dude, just run an Annihilate, Vigoroth, or something else. Like it's not worth it, right? Don't run a fighter or counter user. This thing, I don't know. To be fair, like I haven't. It's not the worst idea, right? It's not the worst idea. I think there's better
That's
picks. I think there are for sure better picks, but I can see the utility. I just don't think the utility is worth the trade off. But all right, what's the next pick you have?
I don't know. I think I said this one before, but I haven't been thinking about it too much
I
recently.
mean, you already
But
mentioned
I do need
Ferrothorns. If
to.
you're just about to send me Ferrothorn again, it's
Nah,
just
nah, nah, nah.
that's.
I was,
All
I
right.
was I was using this recently. Not
Oh
saying I
yeah,
liked it too much, but
no.
uh
Again,
again I haven't
I
tried it out
think that one.
too much.
I
So.
think it could be okay. I think it could be
Mm,
okay. I don't love it, but I think
yeah,
these are both better than Polyrath and NASC.
yeah.
And
But to be fair,
then
I haven't
in
looked too
general.
deep into it, and I think I'll probably do that maybe next week because admittedly, like I'll be out in Kashmir. I don't think I'll have like that much internet or like sometimes stuff
Yeah.
to do. So think about it a bit more then.
Okay. No, we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, yeah.
And of
But
course,
yeah, so there's that
quitting the
tournament.
pod to start working on his worlds training. And if he goes
Uh,
O2O worlds, then you can tell he did not use his time wisely.
yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah. Yeah. So then there's those, and then also I want to, like I said, make this team format um, for the September season. Which actually I'm like really excited about. I think that's going to be sick. The whole like team draft, money team draft thing.
Yeah.
And then these are like this one's like not strictly Pokemon related. I feel like I had some other Pokemon ideas, but I can't really remember them at the moment. But also gonna do something in. Oh yeah, there was like that like locals thing that I was gonna do, like trying to help locals get a bit more. I don't know, like prominent. Um, especially in London.
Mhm.
But also I got some like event organizing plans in London as well for the winter, which I'm actually pretty excited about. Not Pokemon related, but I think it's gonna be sick. So,
I'm gonna rewatch this episode in about
and
like a
see how
year.
much I've
And I'm
done.
gonna hit you back up and be like, what did
Yeah,
you accomplish in this past year?
yeah.
now that
No,
you
no, no.
got
You know what? Do
now that
that
you
and
got
do
2
that.
hours
Hold me
free every
accountable.
week, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see all these
Hold me
things that you
accountable.
listed out
Yeah.
and see how it
Bruv,
goes.
I swear down.
I'm
I'm
sure
on the
some of the
track.
viewers are asking this. Are we still boxing or what? Or is this your way of
Bruv, bring it,
getting out
bruv.
of
Bring
it?
it. Nah, man.
Oh,
Bring it.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll
If
see.
anything, this helps me more with my training
No, no.
because I
Everyone
get
knows
that
that this.
like
Everyone knows that this recording 2 hours a week thing is not what's holding you back from
nah, bruv,
training. But okay,
it helps me
we'll
more with
figure
my
out some
training,
date on
innit?
this.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Nah.
I don't know if like how possible this is, but I
Mm.
went to a Valorant watch party this
Yeah,
past
yeah.
weekend. It was just like one of their like regular seasonal games, I think. And I don't play Valorant or I don't really know much about it, but it's like a first person or it's a first person shooter game where like teams of five essentially. It's also made by Riot, who made like League and some other games and TFT. But so it was at Energy, it's esports org,
Mhm.
and they have like a compound in LA. So I went to that, and their compound obviously they had a bunch of random stuff. It was really odd. Honestly, it looked like your bedroom, kind of like how you would make your bedroom if I were to see it. Like it was the weirdest stuff. They had like a little slide with a like ladder you could climb up to and lounge in top. They
That's so
had
lit.
like a giant dinosaur skull. They had like an entire like food truck that was used like as a
Okay.
prop almost inside. They had like multiple photo shoot stuff with like different things. Like two looked like straight up like a podcast like
Yeah.
desk. There was another one which just like sit up straight up like a throne chair you sit in, right? And
That's so
all these
lit.
other weird like things. Anyway, on top of that, they had a boxing ring. Or they had like like a fighting ring. It's like,
Okay.
huh. It's
Okay.
like interesting. I was like, I wonder if like there's a chance I could like hit them up or maybe partner with them
Yeah.
on this because I mean, they're an esports story. They definitely have the
Exactly.
capabilities to like
Yeah.
stream stuff from their venue as well. But they have a whole giant like MMA boxing ring. Oh no, it's more like a cage. It's a cage. It's not like a
Okay. Even
boxing
better.
thing, right? Because
Yeah.
yeah, because boxing thing they don't have cages, but
Yeah.
it's actually like a fighting cage, like a MMA like UFC cage. And I don't know what they use it for, but I was like, this is like down the street from me. Like I could make this
Hey,
work.
keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, yeah, because I'm so on it. I think when would be a good time, right?
If
Is
we do this though, you got to be the one organizing because I don't got
that's
the
fine.
time,
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
and you now
I'm
got
thinking
the
like,
time.
yeah, I'm okay. So let's say, for example, the start of like,
We have
um,
some regional locations like kind of leaked on X,
oh
but I don't
really?
know. I don't know if they're like for
Oh
NA,
right,
but
okay,
I don't know how for sure they are. So I'm not
yeah,
going to like dip too much into that. But I think it's just like some TCG players like calling up venues
yeah.
and stuff or whatever.
Oh wait, what were we gonna do again in terms of like, were we gonna do it during a regional weekend or something?
That was the
Is
original
that the plan?
plan, so that
Yeah,
other people can go and watch, right?
yeah, yeah,
I mean, if it's
yeah,
just like you show up randomly in LA a weekend, like that's fine too. But who else is going to be here
yeah.
besides like my
Yeah,
locals? Like,
yeah, yeah.
ain't no one
What
cheering
if
for you.
what if they do if they do another LA regional, then
Yeah.
does it work
Well,
in tandem with
sure,
that?
sure.
Yeah.
If we could do LA, of course. I was saying like one of my patrons owns like two boxing gyms in North
Yeah, yeah.
Carolina, so that might be an
That's
option as
also an
well.
option as well, yeah.
But he's like affiliated with org, so he needs to like check to see if that's even
Mm.
possible, right? If they'll
Right,
allow
yeah,
it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
um,
But yeah, I'm so on it, man. Also, again, I think it would just be like what a sick idea, do you know what I mean?
good
Pokemon
content.
boxing.
Yeah.
Sick. Everyone's watching the match and then they're also seeing the screens mid match to see like the battle.
Well, it's
Bruv.
not mid match. It's like
Well,
it's
yeah, yeah, in
during, but
between
it's just like
rounds, isn't
it's
it?
also
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be sick. Yeah, I'm down. I'm so
Okay,
down.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. Well, so that's still in the works. We'll see. Maybe we'll get you on in a future episode too. There is one story you should tell people before we get into like the meat of stuff too for this episode.
Mm.
Um. You were going to do this on episode 200, I think,
Is it?
but
Oh,
you're not making it to 200.
okay.
So it was going to
I'm pretty
be
fast.
why you changed your name officially to Goku. Why Goku is legally your middle name. So let's hear it.
Okay. All right, so you know what's funny as well? Yeah, I've been told not to tell this story, but honestly, I don't really care.
Dude, I sent you a video of those two girls in the pool that were sharing a story that they shouldn't have shared
yeah,
on
okay,
Instagram.
that story they
Yeah.
definitely shouldn't have said, yeah,
Yeah,
because
it was well. If it's
bruv,
true, there was an Instagram reel
yeah,
I saw where I thought Anicor find it funny, but there was these two women that were getting interviewed in a pool party, and they said like they're millionaires, and they're the people, and they're young, right? They're like in their 20s, probably at most. Yeah, probably they're in 20s. And the interviewer's like, well, how are you all millionaires? Like, what do y'all do? And they said apparently off the shores of Miami or something, a bunch of like drugs floated on shore because it's from like some drug cartel that I guess like the ship sank or I don't know what happened. So they took all the drugs and then they sold it, which again
honestly,
highly illegal, right? Don't do this
yeah,
just because you
but
heard us talk about it, right? But also
and
the opportunity for that is very
not
low.
saying you should do it, yeah, but if you're gonna do it, you don't want to be telling all the drug cartels who've lost all their drugs, yeah, on live TikTok that you went and took it and sold it
Well,
because now they're going to be
and
coming
you
for you.
know
I
that
don't know if
clip
these
be
girls are
going
alive anymore,
viral too, right? Because I
bruv.
saw Rich
It
on
went
X and
viral.
I found it on Instagram too.
Yeah,
Yeah, and this got
so
millions of views.
they're idiots,
And
bruv.
well, not
They're
even that
idiots.
too. Also, like just admitting that you committed those crimes. Forget the
Is that
cartel, just
illegal?
the U.S. government. Of course, it's illegal. What do you
Oh, I don't
mean?
know. I don't know if admitting. Oh yeah, I guess admitting to a crime is
What do you
illegal.
mean?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, what do you mean it's
I don't know.
illegal? One,
I don't know.
you
Yeah, I
can't
guess
legally
illegal.
sell
Yeah.
drugs in general,
Yeah.
right?
But is
Unless you're
like
like,
admitting to a crime when there's no proof illegal? I don't know. I don't know.
well, here's the thing though, right? There might not be proof now, but
Oh, but if anything comes up,
potentially
there'll
potentially
be
if someone
yeah.
investigates
It's
and
true.
looks
It's
into your
true.
assets and be like,
Yeah.
where did you
Yeah.
get these millions, right? I'm
Yeah.
sure they're smart enough not to like just drop a couple millions into their bank account because then that would really trigger some red flags for the
Yeah.
IRS. But still, like,
Are they really smart enough though?
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
but I definitely did bookmark that reel on Instagram just to see like I'm very invested on like what happens.
Yeah. Ridiculous. Well,
Anyway, so
yeah, so mine is definitely not anything near that. I'm not on the run. Um, so basically years ago, I think it was like 2018 or something like that. It was
yeah.
New Year's. I got an Airbnb. And there was only a few of us there. Like originally, basically the Airbnb was just like because like it was me and my ex at the time, and we booked it like that. And the Airbnb were like, okay, cool, no guests, yeah.
Mhm.
But we had a few guests over, but not too many. Um,
Broke rule number one.
yeah, but like, come on, man, yeah, insane. I'm paid for the Airbnb. Anyway, few days later, I get a message from Airbnb, and they're like, the host is complaining. They're saying that there was dirt on the floor, which honestly there was because we went to the park to go and see the fireworks, and the park was muddy, and we came back. So yeah, fair enough. But like cleaning fee, right? And then the host's also saying that there's damage on the walls and also being like, I can tell you had guests because there's multiple glasses out. Now, first of all, yeah, what if I just like to drink out of a new glass every time?
Well,
Yeah.
don't
What
do
an
this. Don't.
assumption. No, no,
Why
no,
why are
no.
you giving this
But
attitude when you clearly did do what they
no,
did,
but that's not
right?
the point. That's not the point because you can't
You
make
should have
that
just cleaned up
assumption. Yeah.
after yourself too, right? Just to make
Cleaning
it
fee,
less
bruv.
obvious.
Clean. Well, what's the point of a cleaning fee if I'm going to clean up after
Well, yeah,
myself?
but don't make it
Anyway,
look like you had a bunch of guests over.
but why? Look, why are you assuming that based on the fact that there's multiple glasses? What
Okay.
if I just want to
Either
drink
way,
out of
though, they
multiple
made a
glasses?
good assumption, right? Because this is true. All right, so
Anyway,
go ahead, right?
anyway,
So they
but the
messaged you.
damage on the walls like completely not true in it.
Yeah.
Especially because also they were like, oh yeah, there's paint chips on the wall. It's going to cost us £600 to like paint over it. I'm like, £600.
What were y'all
Like, are you
doing?
buying a
Throwing
new wall?
glasses at the wall?
Yeah.
What happened?
No, I don't think there was any damage in it, but whatever. Innit? Anyway, I
Okay.
replied to it and I was just like, look, load of crap. However, the host replied to the dispute, and at the time I was working so much in it, yeah. So I kind of just like lost track of those emails, and I just never replied to it. And as a result, the host won the dispute by default because I didn't reply. And Airbnb were trying to charge me like £500, and I was like, nah, bruv. Like, I'm not for what? For drinking out of multiple glasses? Nah, fam.
It's probably for the damage for the walls, to
So
be honest.
nah, but what? £600? You dumb? Nah, man.
I don't know
Anyway,
what y'all did, man.
bruv, there was
You might have
nothing
been
there. There
throwing
was
a
nothing
banger
there.
and someone just
You
like,
know, What banger are you gonna throw with 6
I don't
people?
know
That's
what
not a banger.
these Englishmen be doing. Maybe they playing some rugby in the middle of parties, tackle each other into some walls.
Anyway.
Okay, so
So
anyway,
yeah,
so
years
you
later,
got charged 600 pounds.
yeah, and I was just
What
like,
is that in US dollars?
maybe like $700-800, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, they were really taking the piss, you know.
Yeah, 760.
Like even the rent we didn't even cost that much as well, which is ridiculous, but whatever. But yeah, years later, I was traveling on my own for the first time. Um, and I was like, you know what? If I'm traveling on my own, maybe I should have an Airbnb account, you know, just in
Yeah.
case. Like,
Yeah.
who knows? So yeah, changed my name, put Goku in the middle, and
He
got a new
changed his
Airbnb
name
account.
to clarify. He changed his name because he couldn't actually make another Airbnb account without government ID, right? To
Yeah,
like verify.
yeah.
And so he had to change his actual government ID. And I like how casual he's like, yep, so I just changed my name to Goku. As if like that's not like
Yeah.
the most like you got yourself into this mess, right? You could just actually like file a
Yeah, but
dispute. But
I,
instead he legally went
yeah.
to a lawyer, got the paper signed to change his middle name to Goku. Did you have a middle name before or no?
Yeah, it was my dad's name. Yeah, so I
You
also
got
didn't
rid of
really
your
want
dad's
that name,
name
but
to make it Goku?
I don't want his name in there.
Well,
Yeah,
you didn't want that 600 pounds on your
I
your
also
account
didn't want
either.
that, you know. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you know what? Here's the thing in it. Yeah, admittedly, I should have kept up with the thingy, but you know what? I didn't. So what can I do?
You
You know.
know how I said I was gonna keep up with those girls that were selling drugs. Right? I'm gonna keep up with Anicor too. A year later to see like, did he get in trouble, or
Yeah.
is
See,
he
the
on
real reason,
or
the
is
real reason I'm
his
leaving the
middle name
podcast
Vegeta by now?
is I'm due in a few days.
Yeah, man's about to go through the
Uh,
entire Dragon Ball Z roster. He even gonna start dipping into the women. He'll be like, "Yes, what's your buddy's name?" I was like, yo, his middle name's Chi
Mama.
Chi."
Yeah. So there
uh,
you go.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
man.
man's down bad if his middle name's Yamcha one day. Like, it's
That's when
gone
you
real
run out
far
of all
down.
the names.
Yeah, he's gone through
Really
all the
gone through every
Saiyans. He's just going
identity.
to start going through some
Yeah.
humans.
Yeah, but you know
What
what's
was
mad
that?
as well? Yeah, I haven't even
Yeah.
used it. I think I've used Airbnb like 3 times since.
Well, that's
Like I
3
use
times you couldn't have used
Booking.com
it
way more.
before.
Yeah, but to be honest, I didn't
Airbnb
realize
is not,
Booking.com's
like,
just
the
way
most
better.
affordable sometimes. It's
Yeah,
unless you have, like, a large group of people, it's not really
yeah,
worth it a lot
exactly.
of
And if
times.
you're in a large group of people, like they can book it anyway. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it's not even too necessary.
Oh, I'm usually the one to
Um,
book it.
is it? Yeah, I
Yeah.
usually was, but then I
No hate,
decided
but I
to
had
switch to
Dijon booked, our Airbnb for Seattle Go Fest a few years ago, 2 years ago, and he's like, "Yeah, it's a great deal." He's like, "It's a little bit further from the actual park, but, like, it's a lot cheaper." I was like, "Okay, we'll do it." But then, like, it was so far that we had to Uber every single day to go places. I was like, and
not
like,
even save
I
any
remember
money.
everyone was just like, "Did this actually like make sense financially?" I don't think so, right? And the place didn't have AC either, right? It
Oh,
was in the summer. We had all the windows open. Luckily, like there weren't that many bugs, and it was like the windows open wasn't too bad. We had the windows open, and then everyone was sharing like beds and everything, right? We had people sleeping on the ground too. I was like, "What is going on?" It was a lot of people.
uh,
It was like 2 couples upstairs, that's 4. Those one person sleeping the kitchen floor, so that's 5.
that's
I had
mad.
to share a bed with
Boy, man.
Arrow. Luckily, like, he just kept to himself. I was just like, "No, I this couch is me," right? And, like, it was like a couch bed. It's like, "Kale, come on, please." Like, I don't wanna sleep with, like, downstairs with all the guys. So I was like, "Alright." SJP, he actually stayed with us for a night too. I don't know
Uh,
where he slept, but he's, like, crashed at our place, because he would just, like, hang out late.
Puffed
And
up.
then there were, like, about 5 dudes downstairs. It was, like, Dijon, Mai, Jangles, Clash and Cliff, someone else, and maybe SJ stayed there. There were a lot of people, right? I was like, it's like Dijon,
That's mad.
I don't know
You know
about this
what?
one.
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
know
lie,
about this
yeah.
one.
That
Yeah.
sounds like something an Airbnb host could complain about. You see how
Well,
easy it is? Yeah? You see how
no, we
easy?
cleaned up after ourselves. We started laundry. We didn't do no parties. We didn't damage no walls.
You didn't
And
damage no
I don't
walls.
know if Dijon actually put down the total amount. You know how they charge extra? That's the thing that's even more stupid. Like with Airbnb, they charge more if you have more guests. I'm like, what's the
Yeah, I
extra?
don't get
Like,
that, man.
yeah,
I don't
like
get that.
it's so stupid. I think Airbnb used to be more affordable than hotels
Yeah, the
before
last
COVID. But
US.
I think like after COVID, the prices of them have gone up a lot for some reason.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
I
Yeah,
wonder
I don't
also,
know.
like, obviously with hotels, um, it's like when you're doing Airbnb, obviously you're getting a yard, so you get like, a kitchen and certain things that you may not get from a hotel. So maybe they've realized that people
I
are
think they just
willing
want
to
more
pay a
money.
bit more for that kind of appeal. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I prefer, like,
Yeah.
personally, I will go for whatever's cheapest, but maybe there's some people who are just like,
I
well,
think there's some. I think there's a lot of people that have been using Airbnb less because of all the charges and
yeah,
stuff, which is kind of wild. But but yeah. So that's yeah, that was a part of it too. I mean,
yeah.
this is going to be the roast Dijon episode, but it was also, if you go and eat places, right? Generally, don't let him pick, all right? Because he's also the type. I don't know if he's still like this because he travels a lot more as a judge now. But at least at Seattle that year, he was like, yeah, every time I travel to a new place, I usually like to do like a fancier dinner, like one of the nights. And I was
Mhm.
like, all right, fair enough, right? We could dress up a little bit, stuff like that, and do a fancy dinner. So we go to this restaurant that he picked out for us in Seattle, and there's so many of us that they sit us all at different tables. We had like 4 or 5 different tables, and then when we order our food, I ordered like a shrimp on rice kind of like bowl or something like that. Right, because everything's super expensive to begin with,
Mhm.
and we sit down and we order, and I think I waited about like an hour for the food. It was a long time. They show up with just like some rice, just a little bit of rice and like 2 or 3 pieces of shrimp. I was like, what took over an hour for this, right? It was like good, but it wasn't
they,
that good.
they
Like it,
were
it didn't
breeding
taste like
them
anything
shrimp.
that I couldn't even make myself. I was so confused. I was like, what is going on? And it was super expensive. It was like $50 or something, right? I was like, it was a lot. And I remember I was sitting with Jangles at the time and some other people, and he was like, we're talking like it was like while we're finishing up eating, he's just like, "Hey, y'all want to go somewhere and grab a bite to eat after this?" I was like the man's like everyone's still hungry. It's still already planning on doing this. I was like, dude, Dijon,
Oh,
you can't
man.
like. This is not it. Like it wasn't even like some like Michelin star restaurant or something too, right? I don't know what it was.
They really
Anyway,
finesse you with
this
two
was two
shrimp on
years
the
ago,
rice.
and maybe
Yeah.
Dijon's gotten better about his restaurant choices. But let me just tell you, I know for a fact though, last year in Japan, he was splurging too. Like the whole, I was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, because before I had my travel delays, he was going to be in Tokyo, and I was going to be there too. I was like, what hotel you book? He's like, I booked this one. So I checked. I was like, what the heck? This thing was like 4 times the price of what I end up staying. I was like, "What you? They better
Wait, was
have
that not
like."
covered by the staff thing or no?
Well, he wasn't a staff.
Oh, he wasn't
He
staff.
was he
Oh.
competed last year. Remember?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
didn't. He wasn't
mad.
staff. But also,
Mm.
but even if it was covered by staff, he went early, right? Because like most people,
Right.
they spent
Yeah,
more
yeah,
than
yeah.
just a few days at
Yeah.
Japan. There are some people that just flew in just for Worlds, which is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah,
Like
that's
you're
kind of
going in a
wild.
whole country in a whole different
Yeah.
continent. Like why not just explore and stuff? But
Yeah.
some people that did that for whatever reason. But hey, do what you can do, I guess. But
Mm.
um, yeah. So he definitely on that bougie stuff at times. Anyway, enough about Dijon. So that's why Anicor's middle name is Goku. For those who are
Yeah.
curious.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah, we will
Pretty
we will check
much.
back and see if he still has access to Airbnb in a year from now. So.
Yeah, it's a fair thing to check, to be honest.
All right, let's go through some of our YouTube comments from last week. We have Eighth Grade say, bruv, I swear, half of NIC at Bourbon Street was on Bourbon Street on Saturday night. Probably why Championship Sunday was dead. AF, but
What
yeah.
was that? Because I saw loads of tweets about like Bourbon Street or something like that in it. What was
Yeah.
it?
Bourbon Street essentially in New Orleans is the go to party place with all the bars,
Okay.
people just drinking like alcohol. They also have open container, like or no open container laws in New Orleans, which means that you can walk around drinking alcohol publicly and
Right,
be
right, right.
okay.
I
Yeah,
see.
in the U.S., in vast almost everywhere, you can't just publicly drink alcohol like
Mm.
that, but
That's
you
why they
can.
have those little bags in it.
Yeah. You've
Yeah,
seen like in movies or something, they have
yeah, yeah,
like the paper
yeah.
bags, and you're like,
Yeah.
ah, and they're drinking out of it,
Do you
and
know
they're
what I mean? That's so
like,
obvious,
this is
bro.
not, it's so obvious what you're doing, but
What's gonna be
that's
in
what they
the
have to do
Fanta?
though to not get like pulled over,
Yeah,
right, by
mad.
cops. I don't know if that's allowed either, because if a cop really
Yeah,
pulls you over, they can, but I don't know if cops are like as bored to do that.
yeah,
But if you're just holding like a giant like actual like beer bottle or stuff, you'll definitely get like cited
yeah,
for that for sure.
mad.
But so Bourbon Street, yeah, think of it like almost like the strip in like Vegas, right? It doesn't look like it, but
Right.
it's just like that's a place to go,
Mhm.
right? For bars and food and parties and stuff. And I think that's where they throw like the beads, like the Mardi Gras beads and stuff. And
Mm,
during actual Mardi Gras, like I'm assuming people would just
yeah,
like be
go on
flashing
that
people all
street.
day long during that time.
Mad.
Um, yeah, and then Palmer's up said someone could even say that Caleb owes his love for Bastia and all the videos, memes, and second place medals that followed to chasing a Swamper bulk point.
Oh,
True.
do you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I was bare gonna bring that up as well. Yeah, I was like, this guy don't care about the bulk points until the Bastidon come true. But I
I
guess
see
he
what you're
also
saying.
won't
Oh,
feel
I
that
see.
way anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Because I never care about bulk points, break points. No, but the thing is, like having a bulk point on like a rank one Pokemon is the whole reason why you run rank one. Like my biggest gripe is actually the bulk break point usually, right?
right.
Usually break points you sacrifice a lot more, dude. Tomahawk's Annihilate. I was looking into it,
Yeah.
dude. In the mirror match, if you're against Tomahawk's Annihilate, yeah, he's gonna win charge attack priority in most situations. It's so weak. You could go straight Night Slash. Like that's how bad his like the
That's
guy is
insane.
like,
But like,
look, he's good at PvP, right? But I'm not as close to him as you are, so you gotta be the one to set him straight. I think, right? But he's like so far deep in
shit,
the
man.
rabbit hole, he doesn't realize how deep he is, right? Like he's digging into the center of earth and about to burn himself because of how deep he's going, right? Like his Annihilate is that bad. Like that's the thing, right? And look, I don't know what spread he's going to end up running at Worlds, right? But I'm just saying, anyone that faces him, keep in mind, right? You don't have to go even Shadow Ball. You just go straight double Night Slash.
Man.
And
Yeah,
you
that's
know
gonna
he's
have
not
to be
going to
done, man.
shield. And then he's like, oh shoot. So I don't know. It's just there's a certain limit to things, right? I mean, when he was just is all targeted one shot by one wild charge at full health from Benson, I was like, that don't look right. Like, is that how it goes? Really? You can't survive a single wild charge? But his Bastion was losing to Cresselia. But it was Shadow Bastion, so that might be a thing for all Shadow Bastion. Polly also says IV optimization gets the last laugh. Um,
Did it?
is it? I don't know about that one, Polly. Is it the last laugh? Like the whole I'm running the rank one. I get the last laugh still.
Yeah, this wasn't a good example. I'll be honest,
No,
because
no.
yeah,
Palmer's first comment on our channel, and he tries
yeah.
to roast me and burns
Nah, but I
himself.
back you, Paulina. I get you, but yeah, it's just
We
unfortunate.
get where
Good
you're
example.
getting going at, but you flopped on it. We get the attention. Anyway, that's gonna do it for our YouTube comments right here. We have some events going on. We have elite rates coming
Mm-hmm.
from it's Mega Rayquaza, and obviously it's already been released. So it's actually it's actually the same day as the APC stream on the 29th.
Oh, but
But
it's like
it's
in the
prior.
day.
It's prior though. Yeah, it's during
Yeah,
the
yeah.
day.
So
So
it's
for most
early
people,
in
it'll
the
be the
morning.
day before too.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Saturday the 29th, either 12, 1, 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. And then this is actually cool though. Free time research available, and if you complete the research, you earn a meteorite, and you need a meteorite
Mm,
to mega evolve the Rayquaza. You don't need a
yeah.
meteorite for any other mega evolutions, but you actually need this. So it actually like the game actually limits you on how many mega Rayquaza you can even have, which is
How
interesting.
many did we get at like last year at GoFest?
We got some. We got some at the in-person ones
Was it like
as
two?
well as the global one. I
Okay.
think unless someone went to both London. Uh, was it London? Was it London to Go Fest
Because
too?
you went to two, right?
I went to two. So
Yeah.
and then I went to the global one.
And then
So
the
I
global.
think I have the max amount anyone could really
And how
have,
much is that?
unless you went to both London
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the Japan one. But that's like most people wouldn't have gone from London to
Yeah,
Osaka, right? Like it's the same weekend. But that's the only way. Well, I guess spoofers probably could have done that, but
yeah, yeah.
I have 6 meteorites and I mega evolved one
Oh,
already.
that's
So
low.
7's the
Bro.
most amount.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
like, what are you gonna do with 7 Mega
I have
Rayquaza? Like,
no
it's
idea.
like it's quite enough, right? So it's plenty, but it's cool to get another free one.
Yeah, yeah. And
So
that makes assuming that I'm also gonna get, or because I haven't even finished some of these the research from GoFest. But assuming that I
what are you
get
saving for?
like this,
Stardust bets? Like,
nah, just like I can't remember what the bit I'm stuck on. I'm not stuck on it, but it's like I think it's
dude,
it's either something like power up a certain type of Pokemon. And I'm like, well, it will happen when I power it up. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna actively power something up just to like complete the research. So it's not going anywhere in it.
I will
Um,
say
no.
with 3 additional co-hosts, winning bets is gonna be a lot harder for me
Yeah,
because I can guarantee that they're actually gonna try, right? Especially after they saw
at least one.
your
Yeah,
clown fit, right? So
it's
I'm very
true. Yeah.
curious who people think the guests will be or the co-hosts will be. Feel free to drop some comments down below
I'm
if
actually
you're
curious on
curious.
who two of them are because obviously I know two of them and then I don't know who the other two are.
What do you mean
So
you know two of them as in you know me?
no, no, as in like I know who two of them are, but I don't know who the other two
There's
are.
gonna be 4 regular hosts, including me,
Yeah.
right?
No,
So
no, but
there's
I'm talking about the
the
other
the
person who's
the
like
reoccurring
in the
guests.
show. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. I'll tell you after this. Yeah. So we
Okay.
have like 4 slash like a fifth one that may hop in from time to time. So,
Mhm.
um, okay. So we have the Pokemon Go web store is doing some stuff too. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
so anyway, it's already been out, but Mega Rayquaza definitely one of the better megas to
Yeah.
get. Obviously, you can't really use it in PvP outside like random occasions, but the thing is, this is the one where you get the big bonuses, right? Just like Groudon and Kyogre, you get 3 additional bonuses when you Mega Evolve in terms of like the typing of like the extra candy and Exos potential. So for Mega Rayquaza, it's Flying Dragon and Psychic, I think.
Mad.
So it's essentially everything that Windy Weather boosts.
Mm.
So anyway, go on to go for sure.
Good. Mhm.
And after that, we have or Timpole
So this is
Community
interesting.
Day.
Tynamo.
Tynamo, sorry, Tynamo.
Timple's
You know, it's
yeah,
a T water Pokemon, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But it evolves in
It's not even a
Electros.
water Pokemon. So
Oh, sorry,
not
it's electric.
really.
It's literally you know what I mean. It's a
Really
fish, right?
not
It's
even.
literally in water in the community graphic. Come on now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that'll be
Um,
July 21st, Sunday
mhm.
from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Um, yeah, it's just single stage evolution, I think, or the 2 stage
That's
evolution, I
double,
should
bruv.
say.
You don't
You
even
know
know what
what
this
I mean?
Pokemon
You
is, do
evolve it
you?
once, right? You evolve once.
No, you evolve it twice.
What do you mean? What
It's a
does
middle
evolve into?
evolution.
What's the middle evolution?
Electric, and then it turns into Electros.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you know what? This is why I thought it was like okay,
Like this is
not
how
interesting,
irrelevant
but
Dynamo is right now in Electrolysis,
yeah, yeah, it's
but let's
true.
see
But
if
this
it has
is
any
the thing.
play
So it's getting Volt Switch, right?
on Electros
And
only.
on Electros only, and I think that's like the
It's not
okay,
good.
the whole like Volt Switch charger bug thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously, I'm not saying that this is going to be a new charger bug, but
No, definitely
it's
not. The
like
typing is just not as good.
yeah, but it's with electric, it has like a better stat product, so you could like, do you know what I mean? In it, like you're not really going to use Electros in Great League, I don't think. Like especially because it's not really
Where is it?
yeah.
It's not even on the Poke rankings, right?
Oh, is it? Is it
Oh
that
no,
low?
I see it. It's 485.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
let's
just
just
don't.
sim it real quick for people. So, we'll just do regular IVs for now because everything is regular. So wins 11, loses a 31 against the meta. Let's just do with the entire Open Great League actually, all
Mhm.
Pokemon. Right. So out of curiosity, so you win 486, you lose 471. So
Is this
50,
with
almost 51% win rate. This against everything, right? So obviously
no?
there's like
Is this
random
with
stuff.
Volt Switch?
No, Spark.
Okay.
So if I add Volt Switch to it, and this is with Dragon Claw Thunderbolt with the moveset combination, which
Yeah, I'm
probably is what
wondering
you
if
want to
maybe
run.
Thunderbolt you could swap for like Liquidation or Crunch, but I guess it just
Maybe they're
depends
all
on
like non-stab too. Yeah, it depends on the
yeah,
meta. Maybe I mean
yeah,
Dragon Claw usually covers most things from neutral too, right?
yeah. Because I don't know how much you'd want Volt Switch and Thunderbolt as well. Like it feels a
Nah, I
bit
feel you.
awkward.
I mean, but it's just like charge bug,
Yeah,
right?
I
You
mean
still
it's
want
not really
discharge. Yeah, it's not like Volt Switch is that hard.
yeah.
So with the Volt Switch, you go up to 583 wins, about 61%. So you go up 10%. Okay, let's actually look at the meta Pokemon now that I think about it because I don't know if this is helpful or not. So you end up winning 18 and lose 24 against the meta Pokemon. And that's with Volt Switch. And then with Spark, I think I said earlier, you win only 11. So you pick up like 7 matchups, but like
bit better.
I feel like you're just better off running a different electric.
Yeah.
Because the type, it's pure electric typing is also just not the best, right? Like it's just like you're taking super effective from mud bombs on like charge bug, you're still like taking neutral, right?
So compared to Ampharos, Ampharos is bulkier, and I'd say they're like relatively comparable.
Ampharos way better
Obviously, Thingy
coverage.
has Dragon Claw, but Ampharos has it's got like you know the same like similar kinds of coverage that Electros does. So I guess it
I
might
will be
compete.
surprised if this becomes PP relevant. I'll just put it that
Yeah.
way. And I'm not just like being a hater. Like this is you don't even see Tua Butters tweeting about this, so you know it's it's not even have a fringe chance in my opinion. But
I feel like it would have been cool if they gave electric Volt Switch as well, because maybe then you'd see it maybe in like a themed cup or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
the middle evolution's name is Electric. That's so like troll. It just sounds like electric, but it's
Yeah.
electric. Like I literally didn't even know what you're saying for half the time. I thought you were talking about like the typing. I was like, what do you mean give it electric? Like it's already like
Yeah,
interesting.
it's got like the same
Yeah.
stats as Swampert, so obviously it's not like amazingly bulky or anything like that.
Hmm.
But I mean, if Electros has worse stats than that, then it's
Yeah.
super glossy.
Um.
Super.
Okay. Well, we'll see how that goes. And
Do you
then
know
vet
where it could be
bonuses.
potentially interesting? I think if it gets a shadow form, maybe, because then it just turns into like a really like hyper offensive, relatively spammy sort of thing, So
Then just run Magnezone at that point, right? Like if you want
yeah,
something that
but
hits hard, it's just
yeah,
I don't know. I
might
like
have
the
some.
optimism you got, but I think this is a
Going,
lost one, right? We had a
I'm
Starly
wondering
community
if
day,
there's
right?
there could
We
be
have a
something
Dynamo community
like
day.
that.
It's
But
not like this
yeah,
is the first useless one we've had.
it's true.
The vet bonus is 1/4 hatch at distance with eggs, and just random standard stuff for the most part. But yeah, so that's gonna be that one. Nothing too crazy to go over, but
Which I think
it's
is not
okay.
bad. This is the last. Okay, so this is interesting because this is the last community day before Worlds, if
Uh-huh.
I'm correct.
That's correct.
So, and I think we can like kind of expect Primarina pretty like either in August or maybe like pretty soon after August in it. So
Hmm.
obviously they've made a decision of like Gudra is going to be the only real um like new
Meta
Pokemon,
shift.
I guess, before Worlds, and
Unless
obviously we
they
don't
do
want
unless they release
that.
new Shadow. They probably
That's
will
what.
release new Shadow.
Do we know when that's supposed to happen?
No.
No.
Hopefully July.
Okay,
But
that'll be interesting
we
actually.
haven't seen the July content calendar yet. Obviously it's not
Yeah.
going to be in June, but I'm curious 'cause I have some stuff I want to TM for sure.
Yeah,
But
and that's
yeah.
definitely got to be before Worlds, like 100%.
Well,
Well, no, but it's
it
like
doesn't
even
have to
not
be.
necessarily for new shadows, but just
It's
for like
just
TM stuff, isn't it? Surely
well, it doesn't
you can't
have
do
to
that.
be, but likely will
Yeah,
be.
but you
Yeah.
can't do that. Like, as in,
I
like,
mean,
is that a
you can't
bad
be like you can't
choice?
do it. They
I
can
know.
do it,
Yeah,
right?
I know they
They
can do
probably
it, yeah, but it's just
shouldn't,
like they
but
shouldn't,
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. I got some good shadow stuff that I need
Yeah.
TM.
What
Okay,
else?
let's cover
Oh, yeah.
the T topic real quick. This is gonna be a slightly shorter episode because I actually have a meeting to go to at the top of this hour. So unfortunately, it could be shorter, but um, that's okay. There's not a ton of events either.
Yeah.
All right. So for this T topic two, I don't want to dive too far into this because this is more like a leak speculation situation. There actually is a channel called the 2024 um what do you call it? 2025 speculation chatter. So it's
Mhm.
in the Play Pokemon event Discord, which is an open Discord. Um, but uh, yeah. So anyway, there was a potential speculation. This was posted yesterday from someone named Algernon saying, speaking of speculation, the rumor changes to World's qualifying track seems really bad. And we were like, so what is it? And then they say the rumor is that World's invites will go out to top 64 or 128 players by CP. No auto invite for regional winners. And kind of just whoever has the most CP worldwide. and no threshold you can hit to earn an invite. And then someone else said early rumors I've heard with supposed confirmation coming this Wednesday or Friday. So by the time this episode drops, people might know that we're recording this on a Monday. Include a lowering of the best finish limit, top X players by reaching getting invites, and fewer special events and late regionals. And then the other person responds with, it basically forces people to go to almost every regional ever to have any hope of getting invites. And people don't have the best reaction to this because a lot of people are like, oh, this will effectively kill the game, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then something else, someone, Spark Circuit, someone else, I guess, has info on the league says, given the top X players get invites is possibly founded on another rumor that TPC/TPC are not happy with how many players got invites this year and want a smaller world. Supposedly, also they're taking over the regionals to start transitioning them into local Pokemon conventions instead of big tournaments. Yeah.
Okay. Do you
What you
know what?
think?
I'm not gonna lie, in it. Yeah.
I also saw this on
Uh-huh.
Twitter the other day
Okay.
/X, and I can't. I don't know if I bookmarked it. I probably forgot to, but someone literally said, like Pokemon's dead soon or something like that, or like competitive PvP, and it was a TCG player, and I think
Okay.
they might
So
also have some
yeah, some
like
inside
some
info.
like also heard the rumors,
Yeah.
but obviously again these are rumors, speculation. Is it actually confirmed?
Yeah.
No, there's no evidence that this person provided, but I definitely have my, what's the phrase? Ears to the ground, eyes
Yeah.
peeled, whatever. I'm paying attention this week at whatever format changes happen, right? For next season structure. But what are your thoughts?
Okay. I always love to discuss rumors, in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Low key, like obviously I will discuss this one, but low key, I don't even want to discuss this one. Yeah.
Mm.
Because this sounds so weird that I don't even want to speculate on anything until something concrete comes out. Right.
Well, yeah, we're
What
not
I'm
going to
getting from
speculate because
this,
we don't know. We
yeah,
don't
yeah,
have
I
any
know.
info,
But as in,
right?
like,
And
it just feels so
I
weird that I
don't
don't
have
even want
any
to talk
info, right?
about it. Yeah.
Even on a caster, like
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
not
I
that's
know.
not my realm of
But
things. So anything I say, like also like I don't know anything. It's
yeah.
just
But
something
I mean,
that was messaging people were messaging about in a public
see, do you know what
Discord.
the weird part is, right? Is that like some of the things that they're saying, yeah, I'm like, fair enough, yeah, like lower best finish limit, um,
Lower best
less.
finish limit for regionals, I think, is fair.
Were they doing it with locals as well? I don't know. Okay,
I
well,
mean,
I mean, with
yeah.
regionals, I feel like it doesn't really make a difference, but
Well,
maybe,
because
maybe,
six regionals is still a lot, right?
yeah. So,
Like
um,
if you're chasing, like, let's say you're chasing travel ward,
hmm,
like that would mean that you would have to have at least 6 really good finishes in regionals
that's true.
to have
That's
a
true.
chance, right? And that's a lot. Like if you
Yeah,
just lower to like the best 2, best 3,
yeah.
maybe
Best three seems nice. Yeah. So
best 3,
yeah,
because you might go
best.
more than just 3, right? Just in
Yeah,
general.
exactly. So lower best finish limit, um, uh, less special events and late regionals. These things I like, right? Because it's like, they almost are. I mean, it wasn't that there was too many complaints about the later regionals, really. Personally, I don't think so, because I think more so it was the fact that Asians had to play these late regionals. Maybe you could also say that, like, for the Latam people as well, because a lot of their, like, a majority of their, like, special events were like really late on. So maybe you could argue, like, for the Latam people, maybe you want to bring it a bit earlier. But I would say for like NA and EU, I don't think there was really any sort of issues with regionals being later on, because there was enough regionals at the beginning. I think
Yeah.
if they're spread out enough, it doesn't really make a difference. Like how late,
Mhm. And
regionals
Australia
are.
seems more front loaded. Well, like
Yeah,
Australia seems like
exactly.
they
They
start
have nothing.
like not right
Yeah,
away, but they also end like pretty quickly too.
yeah,
They're like in the
exactly.
middle.
So these are all things where I'm like, okay, you know what, I see that, and I kind of rate it. However, that first bit about invites will only go out to the top 64 or 128 by CP and no auto invites. Personally, yeah, I actually want to, and obviously I don't know yet, but I want to say that's probably false. And the reason I'm saying it's false is because it seems like such a bad idea. And it doesn't seem like, all season we've been talking about how, the championship point system, which has existed for years and years in the TCG and VGC, the whole point of it is to increase the number of players, taking part in worlds, because that's the kind of worlds that the Pokemon company want to see. Yeah.
Well,
And
that's what they
actually,
used to
funnily
want to
enough,
see. Maybe they
well,
try
but then you know
try and
what the
change
thing
it.
is though is that, like, honestly, even looking at like this year, yeah, we got 250 roughly players qualify for Worlds, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's double last year. That's
Yeah.
not even as much more than I thought there would be. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Double is
I
quite a
would,
bit. What do you mean?
okay, double's quite a bit, but I thought there would be way more with this championship point system in it. So double actually seems relatively tame, in my opinion, in it, yeah? Especially when you look at
Double
like,
is tame?
it seems tame based on like what could potentially, happen
Well,
with
I
the
think
championship.
I think if there's no change, it's going to be more than 250 next year for sure.
Because
It
the
might
locals
potentially
are
even
starting
double
earlier
again.
and stuff
Locals
like
start
that. Yeah,
sooner,
but I
right? They're
mean,
more
I don't,
established,
think that
right?
changes
Like
shouldn't happen.
honestly, huh?
I don't think changes shouldn't happen, but this seems wild. Do you not think
That's
so?
why. Oh,
No
no, I
auto
agree.
invites.
It's wild. That's
Yeah,
why I was curious to your thoughts on it, right?
no
It's going to be
auto
way hard to
invites.
qualify, huh?
And also only doing auto invites 1 year and then scrapping it again. Like, I don't know. It
Yeah,
just
I don't
doesn't
know.
seem.
We haven't been in the scene that long, so we don't know how often they change these things. But
No, but I'm pretty sure auto. So
okay, I'll put it this way. I think if it was this hard to qualify for Worlds before, it
yeah.
would be much easier to stomach than just suddenly making it a lot easier to qualify for Worlds now, and then switching the flip and going a 180 and making it really hard.
But you know what? Do you know what the thing is? I don't even mind. I don't even mind it being harder. Yeah. But I
But
think
this
that
is
you
a lot
can't
of
make
it's
it
like
auto
pay to
invites.
win a little bit
Yeah,
because you have
that
to
I
travel
hate.
to a
I
lot
hate
of
that.
tournaments.
And I want to travel as well. But
That's also
honestly, with
just
this kind of
imagine the
system, I wouldn't
stress
switch
too,
over.
right? You don't know if you're
Yeah.
qualifying for Worlds or not until the very
Until
end.
right end. What's the point of like taking
Us,
away all
you have a
these late
huge like
tournaments?
championship point lead,
Yeah.
champion points lead.
I don't like it. I don't like it. If you know what, you know what the thing is, the mad thing is, yeah, is that if you did this top 64, top 128 on CP, yeah, and you kept the auto invites, I think that's a really good system. I think it's a really good system.
Do you think
But
so?
what I mean, I guess we'd have to like look at the championship point table at the moment and see like
I
how
still
far it
think it's
goes down. But I think it's a
it's too
decent
much pay
system.
to win.
Yeah. But yeah, getting rid. Of, I think the biggest issue is getting rid of auto
This
invites.
will
To be
definitely drive up part. I don't know. Does it drive up participation? So
no,
the whole reason why I feel like it drove up participation this year is because with championship points, you knew that it don't matter how much Doombug or Rise Vacation has in championship points, right? You just know like as long as I hit the 500 mark
yeah,
myself, I'm good.
yeah.
But now there's like, I was like, if like number 64 is freaking, like Onion
600,
Frank
700.
Rockhaven or something, right? I gotta get more points than them at a minimum. Like it's
Yeah.
tough, to
Do you think
compete
that
with
goes
the
well
top
with
of
a
the top.
smaller best finish limit?
Yeah. Um.
Do you have to dip?
Yeah. Sorry, I had to go in a second.
Yeah.
But do I? Sorry. Say the question again.
Does it go well with a smaller best finish limit? This system, this like new system,
No, I don't think so.
because
I
it
the thing is
just
like the
sounds
problem with the
completely
best
weird.
finish limit as well is like it gets to be you don't want it to be too low, right?
Yeah.
Let's say it's like two regionals. Then it's like, what if like someone like Doombuck or Lyle, right? They win two each. They're very maximized, right? Obviously, winning
Mhm.
two regionals in one season is not like enough
Yeah, yeah,
per
yeah.
se,
But
but
still, you
but then
want
I
those.
think like, but I think the problem is then you just put a lot of weight on the internationals because of it.
Mm,
Because internationals like they're going to count every one of them, then and you can only count like so every international performance makes a huge difference, right? You don't
mm,
do so well in one regional, you should go another one, do like a general top eight finish, you're good, right? Whereas international, like you got like one chance per one. So if you perform really like my guess is if you do like top cut at all three internationals, you probably qualify for worlds.
yeah,
But
true, true.
that's not easy
Yeah,
to do either. So
yeah.
well, this is one way to drive
Um,
participation up for internationals, that's for sure.
yeah,
and
yeah,
for
true.
just in
Yeah.
general.
I
But
feel like
again,
there's
it's just
really
like
enough interest in
my
internationals though.
biggest reservation is just like I would love more participation at these regionals, but in my opinion, you need to. It's not like TPCI's like the owner's not on TPCI in my opinion for this, right? So
Mm,
I'm not like blaming them or whatever they choose to do. Like that's on them, but it's, in my opinion, it's more important to grow the game in terms of total amount of participants we have, like unique participants, rather than just drive current players to go to multiple more tournaments.
Yeah, agree.
Like that's not really helping grow the game. You're just like
Mm.
forcing some of the players that already play the game to spend more money to go. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
it's interesting. Let's just put it that way. I'm curious to see what news drops, and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, we'll see. But that'll definitely be something
I,
we discuss in the upcoming
quickly before we
episode.
sign off, probably
Yeah.
should have done this at the beginning, but uh, just wanted to expand more on the tournament next week, or this week actually. Um, so
Anicor's like, this is my
sponsorship
last
tournament.
chance to promo anything on this
Yeah,
podcast again.
literally. So sponsorship tournament for Asian players. Obviously, we've spoke a lot about how the Asian players have a bit of a disadvantage, not only in terms of the number of invites they get, but also how late on their tournaments are and like how difficult it is for them to, organize things if they haven't got like travel awards or anything like that, right? And only like, the winner ever gets travel award. So we're organizing something this weekend. Caleb, Rise, Hurricane Kaz, and Steve will all be casting. I will be trying to help, but as I said, I'd be flying as well. But BJ will be helping, which is sick.
Mhm.
And we'll have like uses stats and
It's
stuff
great
like
too.
that.
We had Kaz and Steve on the podcast recently, and
Yeah,
Rise as well, like a few
so
weeks ago. So
everyone's already familiar,
I've
Um,
infiltrated.
yeah, and also listeners, if you can donate, please donate because the prize pool is coming from donations. If you can't donate, find the post that we posted on Drake of His and just give it a like and retweet. Like,
Yeah,
um,
on X.
anything is good. Even if you can only donate $1, that's cool. If you can't spare $1, understand. Everyone's in different situations, but a like and a retweet is literally free. So, please do that.
Is only the winner getting it, or is it like second place and stuff
So
too?
initially only the winner, but if we get enough, then we're gonna try and
You
like
hit like a
give
kicker.
some to like second. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hey, if it's
initially
more
just the
than
winner.
second too, then you could give some to a third place, maybe even.
Yeah, yeah, hopefully. So, if we get enough donations, I hope
How's
that
the
that's
donations going right now? Is it already live?
um so I just put it live last night. I think there's nothing, but I just got a lot of promo to do this week, I guess. Yeah.
Good thing you got all this free time now. So
Literally. That's literally what I'll be spending my week doing in it. So yeah, hopefully we can get some money in it.
yeah.
Because also, what's mad, bruv? Like I'm not really one of these donation guys. Like ask for donation kind
How
of guy.
did you all post this on X?
What do you
How
mean?
was your
Oh,
message
like
this long?
when you get premium, you can do that
Oh,
one.
but you don't have the check mark yet. It's not approved
Oh, I
yet. Is
think
that
it's
what it
just not
is?
ticked. Yeah, I think it's just not like
Okay. Because I was looking at it. I was like, I don't see the blue check mark, but this message is super long.
yeah,
Like,
it's just yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
bruv, I was writing that all last night,
Well, I
typing
know
in my head.
I didn't remember. I like skimmed it. I was like, this is a lot
Yeah,
to
yeah,
read.
yeah. Yeah. But honestly, it's like, we're gonna have some promo during the week as well in it. So a lot of you should be seeing this on your feeds throughout the week. And again, anything you can donate will help.
These are live
Yeah, I've
matches
never
too,
really
right?
been sorry? Yeah, they're
These
all
are.
live.
Is there going to be a delay
Um,
for the players so they
there
can't
will
like
be a
stream
delay.
snipe?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah, there will be a
that'd be
delay.
good.
Especially because let me just say that there needs to be a delay. There needs to be
Oh, what? Some of these eight black
That's
pack
all I'm gonna
players
say.
got some.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Maybe they
DLC.
should just get kicked out of the
Um,
tournament.
nah, because I
If
was
that's
like,
what
you
you're
know
gonna
what?
say.
It's like I shouldn't really judge. You know what I mean? In it, like I shouldn't judge if someone can go to Worlds or not based on that. So, you know, not
Yeah, but
saying
what
anyone's
if?
going to cheat. I'm just saying,
Oh, yeah, but
uh,
you're saying that some of these players that might have done some questionable things in the past,
maybe.
and you're willing to fund their travel, what if they win the whole thing?
Hey, bruv. Honestly, I'm a big believer of meritocracy. Yeah, if they put the performance in, they deserve it, in my opinion.
You know
If
why
they
he's a
put
big believer?
a fair
Because
performance in,
this
they
man
deserve it.
scammed off Airbnb costs and stuff. So he's like, "Hey, look, man, everyone could turn a new leaf, and if they can't, they'll just change their name."
Yeah, funnily enough, that's a
Yeah.
familiar story.
All right. Well,
Uh,
I have to head out to my meeting, but it was a pleasure to do this
yeah,
final episode with you.
it
Thank
was.
you for filling in last minute a year ago when
No
I
problem, man.
was looking for some people
Yeah.
to fill
Can I
in for
also
me.
request some like emotional music in this little outro bit? while you're saying
No,
this.
hell no. Ain't gonna be
I'm
nothing there.
begging you that,
No, I ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I'll do
please.
for you? I'll do you a solid, right? I'll throw in
Uh,
some clown music for you.
nah, that's dead, bro.
There's nothing more
Do you know
fitting
what?
than that.
Let me send you a piece of music in it. Yeah, it's like if for any of the UK fans, yeah, or like anyone who's like
Uh-huh.
UK cultured, there's this like soap called EastEnders, yeah,
Yeah.
and whenever a member of the cast like either leaves the square or dies or anything like that, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they always do this like really emotional piano rendition of the theme
I'm gonna get
tune.
DMCA for this.
Nah,
Okay, send it to
they're
me.
not gonna be
Send it to me.
watching.
All
Yeah,
right, send it
yeah.
to me. And so, all right, I'll play it starting now. Say your thing.
I don't really have much to say except it's been a good time this past year. I'm gonna miss all you viewers and listeners, and I hope that one day we meet again at a future event with an event where they haven't taken away auto invites, and the best finish limit is like at a decent spot.
And if all that's true, then I hope you meet them after a year, because it's not gonna happen. This upcoming year might be a long one.
Yeah, it might be a long one.
Well, hopefully next time I meet you, it's gonna be you laying on the ground after a quick knockout from this boxing match.
Yeah, I'm seeing you in a month, so
true.
Let's hope
In
that doesn't
LA,
happen.
in LA too.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
you could maybe hit up the boxing ring ASAP. It's
Hey, do you know what? Yeah.
No, I don't want you to show up to Worlds on stage with a black eye, right? That's
You
too
did.
much. Oh,
I'm not gonna. I think the problem's anyway. It doesn't. Well, we'll see what when we get there.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been a pleasure, and thank you all for watching. As always, stay tuned next week for any potential, reveal potentially from TPCI. Who knows if it's true or not on these changes? And as always, we'll catch you all next time.
Safe.
Peace out.